Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the Ball Ridden Podcast. It is officially Super Bowl week, Super Bowl LX, which stands for.
I don't know, 50, 60?
I
I don't
had to
know.
I had to look it up. 60, yeah. L
Yeah.
is what? L is 50, X is
Allen's
10.
50, yeah, X is 10. I can't believe I just guessed that.
Yeah, you hit it. So yeah, that's Josh. We're gonna be talking Super Bowl 60 between the Seahawks and the Patriots, and we're gonna look at this as we like to do from a betting perspective, all things gambling, picks. It is the Super Bowl, so you can literally bet on anything and everything in this game, which is it's kind of absurd, I think, looking through especially the regulated sports books, like I use FanDuel, and seeing all the bets that even they have regulated now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the classic funny, like the anthem going over certain times.
Are those regulated though?
Well,
I
I'm
think
trying
it's
to
by
think.
state. I think it's by
Man, it
state.
might be by state. I mean, like but the fact that every single year the coin flip and the Gatorade color is the top, some of the top ones taken. It's crazy that you could even bet that, because you argue it's not even sports betting.
No.
You're just gambling.
I mean,
I'm like
coin
random.
flip at least, though, that's literally 50-50, so you're basically playing roulette with that. The Gatorade color, everyone's always trying to get inside information on that, but
Right.
yeah, there's some wild stuff out there, especially if you get on the offshore or not official sports books, which we'll hit on a little bit, some of those a little bit later. I figured to help us go through some picks, me and Josh will do a little draft style. We'll each have 5 picks that we pick. Since draft style, we can't pick the same, similar to what we did with the Heisman draft. Me and my dad did it earlier with college football. Um, and Josh, both of us are undefeated so far this year in giving out NFL picks on this podcast. Is that right?
Oh, see, I don't think we've ever lost. I
We
think.
we haven't lost because I don't think we've given one. With that being said, follow at your own risk. I guess to start, before we get into the draft, we'll just talk about the line. It's 4.5. I believe it opened at 4.5.
Yeah.
Has not moved. When I checked earlier today, it was about 70% of the money and bets were on the Seahawks. Not asking you to give a pick, I guess your thoughts on the line opening at 4.5 and remaining there at this moment. We're recording this on Tuesday.
Yeah, kind of surprised it hasn't moved at all. Obviously, I know going into this game, you know my thoughts. I was like, I think the Seahawks are a far better team. I think a lot of America thinks that the Seahawks are a better team. Um, but it is a Super Bowl, so I think that because I mean, you got to think about with the Patriots and their past and their fan base. And I mean, I'm just thinking right now, just Dave Portnoy alone. I haven't even seen him, but he's probably thrown $1 million already on the spread.
He is a future bet. I think he took it a while ago. He got really good odds. I think it's to win 1.8 million.
Okay, so it's like it's weird, because I feel like if it doesn't have it does if it doesn't have the Patriots brand name, say that says like the Bengals or something like that, but it's the same players, I think the Seahawks would be like, this line would probably be like 6.5.
That's a great point. That reminds me of like the Indiana Alabama game where everyone was saying if you would have flipped just the logos and had it be those same teams, though, Indiana should have been favored by way more. Um,
Right.
as you were, I'm assuming I was just initially surprised that it was 4.5, and then even more surprised that it hasn't moved because everything that I hear, if you just like scrolling through Twitter and listening to all the big sports media talking heads in the recent days, it seems like everyone loves the Seahawks and loves the Seahawks to cover, which normally that's when that doesn't happen. But
Right.
that being said, you never know. The Patriots, they've been to plenty of Super Bowls. This is a lot of different faces there, but every Super Bowl they've been in, I feel like has been close. I can't think of one that's been more than a touchdown. And I don't have the exact stat in front of me, but they always say in Super Bowls, I think it's happened almost every time in recent years where the spread doesn't matter. Just take who you think's going to win. So, like, if you like the Patriots, don't worry about the plus 4.5. Just take money line. But 4.5 is kind of a tricky number because you're above a field goal there. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's important to do that because here's the reality too. It's like I feel like it's probably harder to bet spreads in the Super Bowl. Obviously, I mean it always is harder to bet spreads, but when you take spreads in the Super Bowl, you never know what you're going to get. Like you can't predict that a team's going to go out there and run like the 75th play in their playbook that they've saved all season. And they're going to give everything they got. So I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I think betting money line is always the play in the Super Bowl, though. It's that and player props. I love the underdog player props because I always feel like every single Super Bowl there's just one random guy that
Yes.
he makes a name, and then most of the time I feel like it doesn't really. I mean, I feel like he's like it's like 2 or 3 years, and you don't really hear about him. Like think about Malcolm Butler. Malcolm Butler was one of the craziest.
I got a little trivia at the end, at the very end that we'll do. And there's one name in there that I'm almost 100% sure you will not get who was a star in the last Seahawks Pats Super Bowl.
All right.
So with that, we'll get into our draft, I guess. 5 picks each. Josh, I'll give you the floor first, being the gracious host that I am. I'll give you the first pick of the Super Bowl 60 betting draft.
Wow. You know, I'm honored because draft style usually works out pretty well for us in what we take. Um, that being said, with the first pick of the Super Bowl betting draft, uh, I'm gonna take under 2.5 total touchdowns in the first half at minus 115 odds. I think uh, I think that this is gonna be one of the most defensive games. Oh, I mean I when you tell me about the Seahawks pass, I just can't see this ball getting really thrown downfield. I think both coaches know that you don't need to throw the ball a lot in this game to win because you have such good defenses. I think Vrabel really knows that. He's not going to try to push his second year quarterback to make it amazing throws. They probably talked about it in meetings. Look, they just got to control the clock. Got to make sure we're giving him easy completions, get him confident. So when we do have to throw the ball downfield, he's already like into that game, and they don't plan on doing that later in the game. Obviously, Sam Darnold's done a really good job this year of not really having to be Superman. So I think they're going to stick to that same thing. They're going to hand the ball off to Kenneth Walker, and he's just going to do his thing. They're going to dump the ball off, and somehow JSN's going to be wide open. But yeah, I think under 2.5 touchdowns in the first half is a pretty solid bet.
Okay. We have a dilemma.
Really?
Well, I mean, my first pick was going to be the first half under total. That's not fair, right?
No, you could take. I think it's a fair. No, it's a fair line because
That's like the same thing, though.
not necessarily because I did take both. You took the under 22.5.
That's what I was going to give as my first pick. Is
I
that
like
fair?
that. No, I think it's fair because
Okay.
one field goal is not crazy.
Yeah, because you're 2.5 touchdowns, so you're at 21 points. So there
Right.
actually is a little bit of a difference. All right, I'll go under. You said 22.5. I saw 23.5, but that's the one that was like minus 140 some. I'll
Yeah,
go. I'll
mine
go.
was minus 115.
All right, I'll go 22.5. I'm fine with that. Under 22.5 first half, similar to what you were saying. There's a lot of new faces in this Super Bowl, especially two quarterbacks that have never played in a Super Bowl. Did you know Sam Darnold's been in a Super Bowl?
When?
He was the backup for the Niners when they played the Chiefs. The would have been the second time. I just heard that
Really?
today. Yeah, or at least he was on. Maybe he was third string then. But besides the point, two quarterbacks that haven't been there. A lot of two coaches that haven't been there. A lot of guys that haven't been there. I could think it's going to be an ugly start. On top of all those new faces, these are two teams that are very good defensively. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a slow start. You've been all over the Patriots first half unders in the playoffs, and those have, I think it's 2-1, and the Chargers and the Broncos game they hit with ease. So I think it's going to be a similar style or a play to those games. But one thing that does scare me is, like I said, how everyone loves the Seahawks. It seems like everyone also loves the under, which I don't love. But I'll stay away from the game under just because I feel like things can tend to get freaky late. So I'll go first half under 22.5.
Okay. I like it. I mean, dude, I feel like in the game like this, so it's because well, it is the
I feel like
Super
it's
Bowl.
cheating you. I don't like.
It's not. That's not cheating. No, because one field goal is not a crazy thing to do in this.
Yeah, watch. It's gonna land. It's gonna land at what 20. It'll land at. There'll be two touchdowns and like. Well, yeah. How could you win and I lose?
I mean, I guess if it's
We would
what
need
two touchdowns and then some field goals,
a lot of field goals,
yeah, like three field goals.
or someone starts going for two. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's possible, but unlikely. That's why I feel like it's cheap.
you never know. It's the bowl.
All right, now things will probably we should be different from here on out.
Yeah. All right. Uh, with my number two pick, I've debated it. I think that because of the style that this game's going to be, uh, and the fact that, like I said, I don't think Vrabel's going to ask May to be Superman. So I think I can. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm gonna go Drake May over 19 and a half completions.
Hmm.
And the reason I say that is because I don't think they're going to be really throwing that ball downfield. I think they're going to try a lot of quick screens. Uh, they're going to run some guys deep, but at the end of the day, he's going to look for his check downs, and he's done a pretty good job of that. And I think 20 completions isn't a crazy stat line, especially if I think the Seahawks are going to be leading in this game, and that run defense is really good. So they're going to throw the ball a little bit. So 20 and a half or over 19 and a half completions at minus 135 odds is what I got it at.
I like that. I was looking at his attempts earlier today, which I think was at 30.5 or
Yeah,
29.
30 and a
Yeah,
half.
30.5. And I had a similar train of thought to you in terms of if the Patriots are going to be playing from behind for most of the game, then that would probably go over. So I like that. Over 19.5 for Drake May. My second pick, I am going to go Kenneth Walker over 20.5 receiving yards. So in the two playoff games, he's had the first one he had, or one of them he had 3 receptions, 29 yards. The next one he had 4 receptions, 49 yards. So since Charbonnet's been gone, who was more of a receiving back for them, or I guess they would just split time in the backfield really. His receptions and reception yards have gone up. I also think a factor that really played into it, the Niners game. I think that was the game where he had more yards was the Darnold injury, where Darnold was not looking to take. He had an oblique or he was banged up, and he was not looking to take any hits. So anytime he had any sort of pressure, if he had a quick check down to Walker, he was taking it, and that got the ball in his hands more. I'm assuming Darnold's got to be more healthy now, but Walker's been doing it in the playoffs, and I think 20.5 is kind of low, so I'll take his over 20.5 receiving yards, and I think they'll try to get the ball in his hands as much as they can.
Yeah, no, that's a good play. It's a lot. It feels like it's a lot less ambiguous betting on the Seahawks now that obviously Charbonnet is injured, and I think a lot of people forget how good Kenneth Walker actually is. Obviously, it's the Seahawks do a really good job at saving him, and they're trying to prolong his career, and they can do that because they have another good back. But I mean, I think we saw last week Kenneth Walker's legit, and if he was getting the ball like some of these other running backs are getting, I think he'd probably go for 1,400 and 600 receiving yards. Um, so I think it's a solid play. He's so good.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about mentioned in the first quarter of that Rams game, like they literally could have just handed him the ball every play and probably won. That I kind of not ended up not being the case, but to Sam Darnold's credit, they in turn turned to him to make plays, and he did.
Yeah.
You can go ahead with your third pick then.
Okay. My third pick. Um,
This is where it's like getting kind of tricky because this one's kind of a gamble here. But
That's what
if
we're
if
doing.
I know, oh yeah, I guess so. I guess that is the name of this. um, but it's really gonna depend on who gets the ball first and what happens. But I'm taking the New England Patriots first drive outcome as a punt at minus 115 odds.
That was on my board.
Mm. See, it's like I thought about it. I keep thinking about it. I think the worst situation could be like if the Seahawks get the ball first and they get like backed up and the Pats start the first drive at like the 50-yard line. But I think it's a safe bet. Either way, the Seahawks defense is just too good. I know I've spent a lot of time talking about them, but yeah, I mean, give me the punt.
So
Let me see the kicker.
you'd prefer them get the ball first, right? Just
I would prefer the Pats get the ball
in
first.
terms of taking it off a kickoff, where they'll likely for sure be more backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, yeah, that was on my board, so I'll take that off. My next pick, screw it, I'll just take the Seahawks minus 4.5. We both said it. I think it's gonna be I think the Seahawks win easily, and I'm fine with laying 4.5, so I'll take the Hawks.
I like that. I mean, don't even think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's sometimes there's some stuff you got to do like that, which brings me to my next one. And I got to throw one of my crazy ones in here. It's not necessarily crazy. I know he doesn't have a lot of receptions on the year, but Jake Bobo at one reception is plus like more. I got it at plus 185. It's down to plus 140 now that I'm seeing on BetMGM. But I think with the way that he made plays in the conference championship, I mean, what was big to me about it is they flipped him a screen pass. He didn't catch. It was a bad throw by Darnold, but you don't flip a guy a screen pass when you have JSN and Kenneth Walker and even Cup on your roster and Rashid Shaheed, and you don't expect him to be a part of your and like he's not a part of your game plan. So that was one of my biggest things in taking that. Just one completion. I didn't take any yards or anything like that.
His yards though is just a half.
Yeah, and
Wait,
but that's the
what? So
reason
wait, so what are you seeing receptions at? You said it
I
was
saw it. I saw it at Bet MGM at plus 185.
okay because on FanDuel right now, over a half a yard is plus 180. But obviously, you said they screw him a screen pass. The only way to get a reception and not be over 0 yards would be a screen that's for negative yards, right?
Right. So I mean that's why I liked reception better. But I did see right now live reception on Bet MGM for him is plus 140. So it is dropping.
I'll give you plus 180.
Yeah, I mean you can just take 140. I don't really care. But that's why I like the reception over the completion or
Yeah, if they're both
over the yards. I
if
mean,
they're both plus.
yeah,
I think there's going to be a lot of people betting on Jake Bobo though. With a name, when you got a name like Bobo, and
Jake
that
Bobo.
and then a lot of people saw what he did last week with the touchdown catch against the Rams. He has like 2 catches on the year, 2 or 3, but one of them's
Three hit three.
yeah, one of them's a touchdown. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of action on Bobo.
Jake Bobo.
All right, next I'm going to go Drake May over 36.5 rush yards. I'm a sucker for quarterback rushing props over, especially in the playoffs. I feel like when teams get in these do or die situations, these must win games, quarterbacks are much more likely to run. Drake May's he's a runner anyway, but I like his legs. The one thing I do worry about is the Seahawks, him running and the Seahawks defense really roughing him up with how physical and tough they are. But I'll take 36.5, and his yards are way over. Travion was like 17.5, which he really has not been getting a lot of action in the playoffs. And then I think Ramondre was in the mid 40s. So I don't know what they're gonna do with the rushing game. Ramondre's got most of the designed carries in the playoffs, but I like Drake over 36.5 rushing.
Interesting. I do. I think that's a fair play.
I
Um,
always do quarterback rush yards. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that is your staple.
Yeah.
So I do like that. All right. One of my bets. Well, let me first ask if this qualifies. It's not BetMGM. It's one of those specials. It was a player versus player.
Yeah, as long as it's just the odds are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, was this my fourth pick?
No, this is 5, right?
No,
Yeah,
this
5.
yeah,
Last one.
5. All right. Perfect. Um. So for my fifth one, I think when it comes to the Super Bowl, it's all about the vets. It's all about who's gonna perform under pressure. And that's gonna be the veteran guys. So I'm gonna take in a matchup, player versus player, Cooper Cup plus 105 versus Keyshawn Boutte.
Hmm.
More receiving yards.
I'm kind of surprised that's plus.
I know. So it's on BetMGM if this comes out and you're looking for it. Yeah, Buddha is minus 105. So it was a minus 105 plus 105. So I mean, I guess it's not really. It's basically the same odds. It's just one's. I mean, I'm sure by the time the game starts, it could be just a minus 110 type of deal. But
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
yeah, so I saw it today. It was one of my favorite ones. Had to sneak in on it.
The one thing that could scare me away from that would be how we talked about, these random young guys kind of breaking out. I think Booty could be one of those guys. Although that could just be in the form of a crazy catch or something, but also Cup's a player who's been in the Super Bowl before, Super Bowl MVP, so I think he'll have a big game anyway.
Right.
All right, my last pick. I might have to go dig. I want
Yeah.
something. I want something interesting because I have all these props, but my board's just like boring. Uh, you know what? I got to do something that's against the Seahawks somewhat. Well, I have Drake May over yards. Who? No, either or would definitely. Who's throwing a pick?
I, dude, I feel like I thought about this. This was on my board too. I just stayed away from it. But I think it's gonna be. I think if you're gonna take a quarterback to throw a pick, you gotta take
I
Darnold.
know that's what I'm thinking. The odds are worse, but I think it's Darnold. I think well, he might not throw the ball more, but I think we'll just get a Sam Darnold moment, and it probably won't even end up mattering. Hopefully, it won't end up mattering. So yeah, I'll go Darnold interception. That is currently at minus 128. I was looking for. What do you think either or of them would be?
Either of them to throw a pick.
Yeah, that's probably like minus 250, 300.
I don't know. Because I feel like
May's
we're both
minus
odds.
144.
Yeah, maybe it's like a minus. Yeah, I'd say probably like a 250.
Yeah, I think it's definitely over 200, but I don't even see an option for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my last pick. Sam Darnold interception. Yes, minus 128. I'll run through these real quick. Or do you have yours? Your 5?
Well, just you list them.
All right. Josh's 5 are first half under 2.5 total touchdowns. Drake May over 19.5 completions. New England Patriots first drive to be a punt. Jake Bubbo 1+ reception, and Cooper Cup to have more receiving yards than Keyshawn Boutte. My 5 are first half under 22.5 total points. Kenneth Walker over 20.5 receiving yards. Seahawks minus 4.5. Drake May over 36.5 rush yards. And Sam Darnold to throw an interception. That sound right?
Yeah.
All right. Any others that you had that were close? I'm assuming we didn't mention. Did we mention Rashid Shaheed at all?
No, which is interesting because I feel like he's kind of been like their hero.
Their guy in the playoffs, especially
Yeah.
and down the stretch of the season.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, so one of my favorite ones. It didn't qualify that I really liked. Um. But I think it's a free. If you're looking to throw a same game parlay,
Austin Hooper to have one reception is -190.
I've been big on Hooper this year. I've bet on him a couple of times catching
I
his
feel like,
yards.
I mean, I'm not very, I don't pay too much attention to the Patriots. I feel like this is one of the most, I feel like the Patriots are probably the most unwatched team I've ever had in an entire NFL season that have made the Super Bowl. But I feel like one reception is kind of crazy for a tight end. I know was he tight end too?
Yeah, he's on the field a good amount though.
Exactly. I saw it's like you think about the Patriots, you think about two tight end sets. So I think one reception at -190 is a very good odds booster. Another one I'm very intrigued about, and I was gonna throw it in there, but I decided to be smarter. If the Patriots win this Super Bowl, there has to be some crazy type of thing to happen. All right, can we agree on that?
Yeah.
So I've decided to take a defensive player.
MVP or score?
Oh no, sorry, I don't know why I said Patriots. I don't know why I said Patriots. I have a defensive player in this game. Regardless, I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think the
Yeah.
Patriots are going to need a defensive player. I just couldn't choose one. That's what I was trying to come up with. I couldn't
Okay.
really choose one for the Pats that I really liked, but I did find one. Then and it's because of his trend, and he's 33 years old. All right, he's. I mean, I feel like if you're us, he's kind of a household name. If you got to grow up like in our age group, uh, played college at Boise State. He's been around the league. It let me just say in the last two games. Let me pull up these stats real quick. I think he forced two fumbles in the last game and one in that two rounds ago in the divisional. So my Super Bowl MVP defensive player is DeMarcus Lawrence at plus 10,000
Yeah,
odds.
that's the big name.
Yeah, and it's like I'm. I mean, it's like again, it's that veteran feel.
Yeah.
You gotta think if you're DeMarcus Lawrence at 33 years old as an active as a pass rusher, you're probably not gonna be playing for longer than another 2 or 3 years. Um. So yeah, I
I
mean,
like that. I like that.
I think it's just the way he's played. I also think because May does scramble and he's a runner, I feel like you could get a May trying to make a play, and Demarcus Lawrence just sticks out a paw and the ball's in the ground.
And then maybe scoops it up too.
Yeah.
And then maybe takes it to the end zone as well.
Well, I would argue like if he so last game he forced two fumbles. I don't think he had a fumble recovery, but if he forces two fumbles and the Seahawks end up scoring on both those drives, or a defensive player picks it up and scores, do you think he would have? Do you think they'd give it to him, or do you think they'd give it to the touchdown scorer?
My defensively,
Yeah.
probably to him.
Right. Especially because it'd probably be a sack fumble.
Yeah. My thing with speaking MVP, I've told you this. If the Patriots win, I think there's value in a lot of guys not named Drake May because he's by far the favorite. It could be a defensive player. I honestly couldn't find one on their team that I could see winning defensive MVP. Maybe like Christian Gonzalez if he gets a pick or two.
Right.
Seahawks wise, I agree could be defense, but I find it hard to if Darnold has any sort of close to a good or really good game, I don't see how they don't give it to him just for in terms of the narrative and the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just find it hard to go with anyone on the Seahawks other than Darnold.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, if you're looking to pay rent this month, uh, you could take Afton Chisholm at a plus 100 like
Yes,
thousand odds.
Chisholm.
Uh, dude, so actually, what's crazy today? He's not even listed to make like on any boards to make a
He has
reception.
no odds other than like touchdown and MVP. I couldn't find anything.
Isn't that insane?
Does that mean they don't know if he's even like going to be active yet?
Right. Well, so like I feel like when you think about the Pats. I think they know because Kyle Williams is a better player in my opinion than obviously Efton Chisholm, but like his usage is very limited too. So it's very weird that I feel like though with the Super Bowl, how do you not list a guy on odds if there's any like obviously there's got to be some doubt he might not even play.
Yeah, usually they have literally everyone. I'm hoping on game day they put something out for him.
I mean, dude, they have a long snapper to win Super Bowl MVP on there, and they don't have Efton Chisholm.
Most people probably have no idea who Afton Chisholm is. He's
I
basically
mean,
the next Danny Amendola, Wes Welker, little white Patriots receiver. Where'd he go? Was he Eastern Washington
he
or
was
yeah?
he was EW, I think, yeah.
Speaking of Afton Chisholm, I guess we are kind of in our more wacky bets segment. One of my favorite bets to make that they usually offer every Super Bowl. I bet it last year. It hit last year. It is over total number of players to record a pass attempt. Over 2.5 is currently plus 152. So you just obviously the two starting quarterbacks hopefully will record a pass. Outside of that, you can get it from one of the quarterbacks never root for injuries, but someone gets knocked out for a play or two and the backup comes in and maybe attempts a pass, or B, trick plays in a Super Bowl like this. You said it. Teams are empty in the playbook. They got 2 weeks to prepare. So you could see one of these teams throwing a trick play where they have a skill position guy throw the ball. This season, Efton Chisholm has attempted a pass for the Patriots. Cooper Kupp has attempted a pass for the Seahawks. And it doesn't need to be completed, just a pass attempt. Chisholm actually did it in the playoffs.
Did you see that Cooper Cup posted a picture on
Yes, that's what I was
Instagram?
going to next.
Yeah.
There is a picture out there of Cooper Kupp throwing a pass. It looks like just before practice or something when they're messing around. But I think this is also a bet that has kind of really grown in popularity recently. Like I think plus 152 isn't the greatest odds. But yeah, Kupp posted a picture of him throwing a pass. He's thrown one this year. He actually threw one in the Super Bowl against the Bengals as well.
Yeah.
This has hit in the last 2 Super Bowls, and it's hit in 3 of the last 4. Um, I told you I bet it last year. Can you tell me who the third player was to attempt to pass last year?
Oh boy.
It was a blowout.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I feel like it was backup quarterback, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm blanking. I feel like I said this. I said this because like how when like I
It's
call
not
them
so
turds.
random, but
No, I like to call them turds, but they're not actually turds. They're pro players. But I'll be like, oh, blah blah blah, Super Bowl completion or something like
yeah,
that, or
he
like,
took the last snap of the Super Bowl last year. Eagles backup. No?
oh, is it Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny
Kenny
Pickett.
Pickett was 0 for 1 last year, did not complete the pass, and I was shocked when they threw the ball because when he got in, they were up like 30. But he hit that bet for me last year. It was pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
uh,
Um,
sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. I laugh because like I feel like every year there's just something like completely random or a random player that obviously balls. What I think about was it 2 years ago? Was it Jawan Jennings when he was like honestly, if the 49ers win that Super Bowl outside, if they win that in regular time, Jawan Jennings is the MVP. I know Christian McCaffrey came on in the end and in OT, but they ended up losing. However, if they win that game and if they win that game, I honestly think Jawan Jennings wins MVP, which is crazy to think about because his odds. I remember I took them. I was on Jawan Jennings and I had a cash out. I threw like $20 on it. It was like 20 to win 2,000, and my cash out was up to like 600. And I was so confident in the Niners to win that I didn't cash it,
Yeah,
and
he
they ended
he
up.
threw the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
That's what hit it 2 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking at the Niners box score right now. I
What
think
do you
it
have, a receiving and a throwing?
yeah, I mean no one else really stood out in terms of the stat sheet, so I think he definitely would have been. Well, McCaffrey had 160 total yards and a
But a lot
touchdown.
of
But
that happened. A lot of that happened right at the end of the game for McCaffrey, and it was only because it was like the game drastically changed towards the end.
yeah, you're right. Dang, that's
Yeah,
a tough loss then.
yeah.
All right, other freaky bets we can talk about. The one thing I was really referring to earlier about wacky stuff you see on that's what do you call it? Legalized or fuck, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't allowed.
Yeah, but the bets that real sports books carry. All right,
Yeah, I
never
mean,
mind. I was saying it earlier, now I can't remember. Screw it. But you can bet on like fastest speed, who's going to run the fastest in the game with these next gen stats now.
yeah. That's I've seen. So I've actually seen that before in the regular season. And it's only on FanDuel, right?
Yeah, I saw it on FanDuel.
Yeah. So I saw that one time in the regular season, but I feel like you gotta be a little bit crazy to kind of take something like that.
Yeah,
I feel like the only guy you can take like that is an outside receiver one or like a punt returner or kick
Shaheed.
returner. Yeah,
One name I heard thrown out there though was Travion. I guess he has like the fifth fastest speed this season. I think Shaheed was like 10 or 11, but Travion was fifth fastest because if he breaks into open field, which he hasn't done in a while, but I'm not taking anything in terms of that.
yeah, yeah. No, that's interesting. Um, yeah, those next gen stats get kind of weird because
I don't know if I'd even trust it.
well, exactly because it could be like I mean, realistically, like we don't know how fast he's running.
Yeah,
They could just tell me.
exactly. And yeah, you don't know what you're rooting for. Like,
they could just they could just you know like
there's not a speedometer on the screen either.
I'm just thinking like right now like you know these assholes could tell me he's running 18 miles an hour and I'm gonna be like yeah.
Yeah, there's no way to track it. You're just putting your complete trust in technology, and during the game, you're watching just like,
Let's get
okay,
let's get I don't know who's always a guy that's at the Super Bowl. Who goes every? I don't know. Let's get a random fan of speedometer just to check
to
it like
track.
a radar.
Yeah, radar gun in the end zone with the radar gun. Yeah, I want proof. I want proof.
I need proof. Oh my god, that's funny.
All right, I'll roll through some of these wacky ones I that caught my eye. Will any punt result in a touchback? Yes is plus 126. No is minus 162. Distance
Interesting.
of longest successful field goal is over under 49 and a half. I feel like that's kind of low.
That is kind of low.
But also, I mean, I didn't do a deep dive into these kickers. Combined total distance of successful field goals, 128 and a half yards.
Now that one, that's something that I could probably back.
I know. I kind of like that too.
Is it combined for makes or attempts?
Successful field goals, so makes, yeah.
Okay, so this. What were the odds on that?
It's minus 113 both ways, even. Or
Okay,
not even, but
that's pretty interesting because the set line right now for field goals is 2.5. Essentially, is what I've seen on the. Let me check real quick.
yeah, it's normally 2.5 or 3
Yeah,
right
I think it's
now.
two and a. Yeah, it is 2.5. So
Wait, for both
that's
teams?
no, like total in game. Or
Yeah.
sorry, in game's 3.5.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say
Uh,
2.5 would
in
be
in
lower.
game's 3.5. Total makes. So that's interesting because
You could easily get 3, which would be the under there, but over 128 and a half would hit.
right.
You could
So I
that
mean,
is very possible.
right, three. I mean, it's weird though because are these? Do you line up for a 60 yarder if it's not the end of the game?
That's the thing. I don't know.
You
This is
don't. You don't have Little or
yeah.
whoever
This
else.
is where it hurts to not have followed these teams as closely throughout the whole season because you don't know how they act in those situations.
Interesting.
All right, this one we're gonna have to really do some thinking because I didn't do much when I saw it, but it was fascinating to me. Jersey number of first touchdown scorer over under 11 and a half. And the over is plus 114 and the under is minus 146. Are you a jersey number guy?
I mean, I feel like no. I mean, let me just flat out say, ever since they changed the jerseys to like being anything, I feel like my brain has never adjusted.
All right, let's try to figure this out before we pull anything up. 11.5 with the under. JSN's 11, right?
Yes.
Kenneth Walker's 9.
Mm-hmm.
You get those two for sure. Drake May is 10.
10.
Shaheed is... No, he's 20 some.
I don't know.
See, this is where we should... I feel like JSN, Kenneth Walker, Drake May are three solid guys to have for the under there. All right, we're doing too much.
What's Elijah Arroyo 11? I think.
No,
Or
JSN's 11.
no. Is he 18 then? Yeah, I think he's 18.
Wait, let's just do this. All right, Stevenson is over, I believe, right? He's over.
Yes.
Hunter Henry's over. I'm just going in order of touchdown scores. So it goes Kenneth Walker and Jigba would be under. Ramondre Henry Barner over. Cup is 10, right?
Yes, Cup is 10.
Cup gives you under. Stephon Diggs gives you under. Drake May gives you under. Kayshawn Booty, is he 80?
He's 80, I think.
That's over. So you get a lot more. You get a lot more options with the under. I feel like that might not be a terrible bet, but that's why the under is minus 146.
Yeah, I feel like I would take I feel like alone off of the Seahawks, like the top two players, I would probably take the under.
Yeah, Walker and JSN. All right, let's get into some real wacky ones. The national anthem over under 121.5. Do you know who's singing it?
Who is it this year?
Charlie Puth.
Oh, you know what? This is interesting one though, because you know what? If you've ever heard a Charlie Puth song, you know he likes to drag on and hit his high vocals and drag those notes high.
What's he sing?
Attention. It's like you don't want attention. It's something like that. I don't know. I
I
honestly
know what
don't
song
know.
you're talking about.
Uh huh.
So you like the over there? 121 and a
I'm
half.
gonna.
That's what, 2 minutes and 1 second?
Yeah, I think the over. I think the over is pretty solid here because you got to
The
think.
over's minus 180, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking right now that I mean the free alone singing the word free's got to hit at least a solid 10. 10.
That's another bet too, though. That this isn't regulated. That's the word I was looking for. Regulated. This isn't a regulated one. This is from an offshore book that I found. But some sportsbooks might have it regulated. Another one of those, the Gatorade color. Do you ever dabble in the Gatorade color?
You know, I do when here's the thing that I always laugh about the Gatorade color. I feel like everyone always knows someone that
Yeah.
knows someone that knows someone that's a trainer for the team. But I'm gonna be honest here. When I've followed those last 2 years, I'm 2 for 2. so so I do take that. So that's actually really funny because I feel like I always thought, I think about it. I'm like, yeah, all right, sure, I'm sure
Some
you know him,
bullshit.
but I'm always just like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna take, I'm gonna. If this guy's telling, if I'm sitting in the same room as him, I'm gonna be able to hold this guy accountable if he's wrong. So yeah, no, I dabble in that one.
How many other betting trends or following statistics in your career are 100%? Not many, I'm guessing.
Uh, yeah, I can't say that there's a lot, if any.
That being said, blue, purple, blue is plus 240. Yellow, green / lime, those are all together is plus 260. Orange is plus 275. Then it goes a lot higher. Purple. What about water? A little value at plus 700. Clear.
That's
There's also that like clear, like
Does that
cherry
I think,
Gatorade now.
does that double back and count for the white colored Gatorade
That's
or
what
the
I'm
clear
saying.
color?
You get a little value there because there's now the clear Gatorade.
I'm a guy of value. You know,
Yeah, but if you don't come across water on Whoever's giving you this information on Twitter, wherever you see it nowadays, there's no reason taking it right.
Right, exactly.
Last one I got. Who will the Super Bowl MVP mention first in his on-field speech? This is a really weird one, but God or Jesus is the favorite at -200.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be that. It's
Next
well,
is teammates, and then it's a massive drop off. Teammates is +150.
So I'm trying to think like
Who you're trying to think of who could win MVP? Are they how religious you think they are?
because I'm trying to think like who's a player like
What
who's
would
a player
Dig? What would
like
Diggs say? What would Stephon Diggs say?
oh my gosh. Oh, see now this is something. This is something. He'd probably say, uh, I'm using my. I mean, I plead the fifth
Yeah, he
because
would
then the
probably say
FBI.
so. He would probably say something wild.
He's gonna say he's gonna plead the fifth because there's probably the FBI ready to arrest him right after the game. Um, However, I'm thinking of like a guy who's like a Philip Rivers, who's got 100 kids. That would
Who
be
would think
like,
his
or
family?
like a Matt Stafford. That would go up there and be like, first I'd like to thank my wife for letting me be.
You telling me family or family members at +1600? It's a little value.
I think there's a lot of value.
I
Um,
agree.
if I think family because you get I don't know many players on this team that are just popping kids out with their wife
I don't
like
think
those guys
I
were.
think Darnold has a girlfriend. I
Okay.
don't think he's married.
I could see though, a Darnold or say like a Demarcus Lawrence or one of those guys. They get the microphone. One of those older vets, like a Cooper Cup.
Hmm.
I could see this guy being like, I would like to thank the Seahawks and Coach McDonald for giving me this opportunity.
Coach is an option.
Because you got to think about it. A lot of those older guys,
Guys that were
they
counted out.
exactly. They're just fighting for they were just always clawing back and fighting for a spot. So what if he's like, I'd like to thank the Seahawks. That,
We're breaking down Super Bowl MVP speeches. All right, you got any more? You got anything else before we'll do? I got 3 trivia questions and then we'll get out.
yeah, one thing. I think one of my favorite ones to also take, because it's Super Bowl, everyone leaves everything on the line. Is there going to be a 2-point attempt, and it's plus like 200?
That's just attempt because then there's
Yeah,
also
just attempt.
successful
The
attempt.
the, the success is plus like 315 or something like that. So, I think it's a good bet to do. You got. I mean, if you're scoring late, you're gonna see some wacky stuff.
Yep. Or if Patriots fall behind big, trying to
Right.
catch up. But yeah, I like that too. Then. All right, you ready for some Super Bowl? Oh, I think it was XLIX 2015 past Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl trivia.
Okay.
I got 3 questions. First one, this is the one I said I doubt you would get. So there were 2 receivers tied with the most receiving yards in the game, one for the Seahawks, one for the Patriots. Who was the leading receiver of the 2015 Super Bowl between the Patriots and Seahawks from Seattle?
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't Lockett, right? 'Cause Lockett never.
No.
Yeah, because Lockett never won one, right?
No. Yeah, I'll just tell you. His name is Chris Matthews.
I was thinking like a Jermaine Curse, but was he even there?
Yeah, Curse made the big catch at the end that got
Okay,
them down
that's
there.
that's what I was thinking of.
So this guy's name is Chris Matthews. Before that so he had 4 catches for 109 yards and a touchdown. Before that Super Bowl, he had 0 catches though. I forgot his name too, but all I could
I
remember
remember the random.
the whole
Yes.
game they were talking about this dude. They were like, he just worked at Foot Locker a couple months ago or whatever. So
Was it like the deep? You call it like a deep post, right?
yes. He had
Yes.
one really deep ball. That's why, because he only had 4 catches, but over 100 yards. So yeah, before that game, he had 0 catches in the NFL.
I do remember him. That's awesome. Yeah, and he had like a crazy bobble catch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that game, he basically never really played again in the NFL. Well, he had a couple games, but like that's just crazy doing that in the Super Bowl and then to go on and be Like, yeah, he had 2 other seasons, but 10 games. So yeah, like 70% of his NFL receiving yards happened in the Super Bowl. All right, next one. Who was the Patriots defensive coordinator in that game?
Wow.
You don't know this? Known for having one of the best defensive play calls of all time on the interception on the goal line?
Dude, I don't know. Who is it?
Patricia.
Oh, see, like,
You should have known that.
that one's that. Hand up. That's gonna be on me. That's that's a bad play by me there.
Yeah. So current Ohio State defensive coordinator, that was during his time with the Patriots, Matt Patricia.
That's a bad play by me.
And final one. So Patriots head coach was Bill Belichick, correct?
Yes.
How old was Bill Belichick's now current girlfriend Jordan Hudson during that Super Bowl? It took place in 2015.
Whoa, this is crazy. Oh, I'm gonna say she was 14.
Correct.
Hey, let's go.
Well, I don't know if the internet's correct on her age, but it says she's 24 right now, and then that was in 2015. But yeah, while Bill Belichick was winning his 4th Super Bowl with New England, Jordan Hudson was probably freshman in high school studying algebra or something.
Well, you know what? Thank God I just forgot who Matt Patricia was for a second, but I remembered that Jordan Hudson was 14.
Yeah, how'd you get? That's the one you get right. I can't believe
and
you.
and
I
and it's Matt
can't
Patricia.
believe you
Like,
miss Patricia.
and I feel like a Patricia's such a guy. I feel like it's a guy that we've probably mentioned him multiple times on this
Yes,
podcast.
and there's always clips of him talking about that play call on the interception on the internet that go around. It's probably been around this week. I was trying to give you a layup with that one.
Wow. You know what? That was bad. That's a bad one. But I can't believe the one I got right was Jordan Hudson's age. This is bad.
Yeah, you nailed that.
I gotta start watching more ball. That's embarrassing.
All right. Hopefully your Super Bowl draft picks are better than your trivia game.
Yeah. No, known very good, better in draft style. Uh,
Yeah, this could be we could go 0 for 10. I could see that happening.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be so mad. Not even mad, but like it's gonna be very funny. Like when this game comes out, the Patriots get ball first drive. They just score like a 75-yard touchdown, just wide open, blow coverage.
At least that wasn't your first. Well, that also hurts your
Yeah,
first half
yeah.
touchdowns pick.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be gross, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait though. Also, I mean, it's crazy. Obviously, we're talking about the bowl, but like, Winter Olympics this week.
Yeah, it's not been talked about at all.
I know it starts on Thursday. I feel like, well, so I didn't know this. I'm glad I get to mention this on the podcast too. What the hell are we doing as an Olympics? We're not even the favorites to have the most gold medals.
It's the Winter Olympics. That's not our thing.
I mean, I don't
Are
give a
they
damn.
normally in the winter?
I don't know. I don't know. But dude, I was looking and I'm like, this is crazy. Like I would have thought that we had some Alaskites, that were
The
that were up there balling,
the Summer
but
Olympics was even close last time.
yeah, which is crazy because that's never ever the case. We usually dominate the
I
summer.
think we're losing a step.
You know. Well, dude,
A prime example is basketball.
basketball is one of the craziest things now of all time because it's actually really, really good to watch when you watch it because I mean you get like Spain and obviously you
I'm
get like
saying it's not America's sport anymore.
no, it's I mean the top guys are usually coming out the Euro. I mean
I think the NBA All Star Game is going to include some sort of U.S. versus non-U.S. and we on paper would probably get dominated. If you could, that's also combining like all those countries together, which is kind of unfair. But
yeah, but I mean I think basketball is an American sport, so you should be dominated in that. Um, One of the things that I'm intrigued about, dude, apparently Germany has like I think it was Germany. It was either Germany or France. I think it's Germany. They're so goated at bobsledding.
Hmm.
They are so goated. They have like I think so. I was looking. I think there's 4 total events in bobsledding. I think in 3 of their events, their athlete. So it's the same athlete for both, but it's 2 different events. But their athlete is minus money. The man is like way minus money in both of his. The female's minus money in whatever the first one was, but it's like plus 115 the other one, and all the other odds are just way down there.
By far favorite.
Yeah, I was doing some research. There's a UNLV former female track sprinter turned bobsledder. She's plus 500, so I will be dabbling into that. I just feel like it had to be talked about for this podcast gets put out there. I also took the U.S. plus 13 or over 13 and a half gold medals. I just had to.
That's it?
Uh, yeah. Oh, I don't think there's a lot of sports or
There's a lot less events.
it's. I think it's
I guess,
more
yeah, because in track and field in summer, there's literally like a million medals.
right, and it's like I took the U.S. to win the hockey at plus like 225. Obviously, Canada's unreal. So
But they gave them in the Four Nations face-off. They beat them once.
yeah,
Hockey's gained a leg up while basketball's taken a step down in the States.
I gotta say that's something that I think needs to be like talked about more is how well the NHL is so about the identity of around these like world hockeys or these Olympics because it's in the smack dab of the middle of their season.
Yeah, they literally take a
They just
break.
say they take like a month and a half break and they say no, our best players are playing in that.
And they like love to do it, whereas NBA guys would probably never never try to play more basketball than they have to.
Right.
I'm glad we got a resident Olympic expert. I didn't know that. We may have to check in weekly with a little Vargas Olympic report.
Well, it's interesting because I know I'm off now for 2 weeks, so starting on
Oh
Thursday, I'm
god,
gonna have
he's gonna
nothing.
be dialed.
I'm gonna have nothing else but that and golf. What's the golf tournament this week? I don't even know.
It's the uh, Waste Management, the Phoenix, the party
Oh,
hole one.
okay.
Yeah, it's
That
always
yep.
Super Bowl week.
It's crazy.
Scotty's
My
playing, so
yeah, my brother's there actually. My older one. He just went to that.
oh, he's going to it.
Yeah. So actually, it's funny. The last 3 years, I've had a separate family member go to it. 3 years ago, my dad was there. 2 years ago, my other older brother was there, and now this year, my oldest brother's there.
So you're going next year.
I guess next year's my turn, huh?
That'll be fun. The party hole. It's one of the most exciting or most followed non-majors, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, they just did a good job of just being kind of degenerate. Uh, I mean,
Like the thing I love
It's
about
for our generation.
yeah, what I like about it though is like obviously you have your classic, your Augusta, no phones allowed, and the like you can't even take like pictures in there.
Yeah.
Um, I love that it's the complete opposite, and like you get guys that are like like yeah, I mean you get like like you get crowds that are like screaming at you while you're putting.
I think it got to a point last year where they were like, all right, we might need to take a step back because they just had people like passing out and stumbling, just
Yeah,
hammered.
I mean imagine you're putting for $13 million and you got a guy right behind you saying your wife's maiden name. You know, that's just what
Hammered
happens.
drunk, can barely
Exactly.
slurring his words. Yeah,
And he probably bet like a $10 bet on you.
yeah. They need to find maybe a little more of a happy medium between that and like you said, Augusta.
Yeah, so interesting, but yeah, Olympics, my waste management. I'm gonna be locked. The whiteboard this week is gonna be full.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday, college basketball Saturday. Hopefully, we'll planning on getting into some deep dive into college basketball here next week. But all focus will be on the Super Bowl this Sunday. Josh, thanks for joining. Enjoy the game, everyone. Peace.